Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. So this is my episode 2 review of The Walking Dead. This will contain spoilers for the episode, so I have to warn you for spoilers. Next week, like next Sunday, when it actually airs on television, I will be posting my in-depth spoiler review where I break down the episode. Tomorrow as well, or I guess later on today, my in-depth review for episode 1 will be dropping. It's about 20 minutes long. I really go in depth on the episode, so stay tuned for that. That's dropping tomorrow right after the episode airs. And I mean, yeah, episode 2, great episode. I just watched it. Thank you guys for joining the watch party. It's a lot of fun doing that. And yeah, let's get into this review here. So first thing I want to talk about is the stuff that Negan says. Obviously, episode 1, the cliffhanger was Negan left Maggie to die. Well, how Negan explains to everyone is that like he never really let her or left her to die. He just kind of like he didn't help her. Right? Like there was a big difference. He didn't try to kill her or anything like that. He just didn't help. And Maggie's reaction to it is very much like, because eventually she does make it out. She does actually crawl under, just like Glenn did with the dumpster. She crawls under the train car. She gets in from underneath. And there's actually a scene where it looks like she literally got eaten by walkers. So that looked a little, I don't understand what happened there. But she got out and she went up in the train car. She got up and she hit Negan. That was her first reaction. And I mean, everything that happened afterwards, for the most part, kind of felt like I was saying, like Maggie has to kill Negan at that point, right? How is she going to be fine with him alive? But it actually makes sense. Like when you do see her explanation or her, I mean, I think there's something more there still. I think there's a reason why she's keeping him alive still. And there was some stuff that Negan was saying that kind of made sense. It almost looks like there's this mutual respect growing between the two. There was a scene after this happened where Maggie handed Negan a gun because Maggie knew that she needed his help. And then he took the gun. Maggie was like trusting him with it, like, you better not shoot me. And he didn't. He actually helped her out. So, you know, you get stuff like that, and it seems like there's some type of respect or bond growing between the two. And I mean, I shouldn't say bond in that way. It's definitely never going to be like this loving bond or anything like that. They're never going to be friends. But, you know, I definitely think that they could somehow find a way to respect each other. And I think the way that could happen is because Maggie is now a darker character. And I will say Maggie is extremely dark in this episode. She actually lets Gage die, which is something that I couldn't believe actually happened. Gage, if you remember in episode 1, him and Roy ran off. And so they were like, where the hell did they go? Well, eventually they end up in the train car. Gage is behind them because I guess he ran back because he was scared or whatever. And he was trying to get in the door. And Gage was asking Maggie and Eldon, everyone else, like, can you open the door? And Maggie just kept saying, no, like, we can't because we don't have the ammo to spare to take care of those walkers. And if we open that door, we're going to have to deal with all of them. So sorry, you shouldn't have ran away. That shit was dark. Gage was kind of crying and stuff. And it was just like, I couldn't believe that. And then he just like stabs himself and he lets himself get eaten by walkers. And he calls her a liar, first of all. But that scene, I mean, and we also see Gage as a walker afterwards. That shit was brutal to watch. And that officially made it so that right now, I do not like Maggie. And I'm not saying I hate the character. I don't like her and I'll never like her. It's just right now, I don't like her and I'm kind of mad at her and I can't believe what she did. Because it makes no sense. Like that made no sense to kill Gage right there. Like it really did not make any sense. Because later on, and I know the explanation is later on, I mean, they had to get out of there. There was only one way out. So then, you know, they didn't know their options before. So I guess if they knew it then, maybe they would have opened the door and then went that way. But they didn't know their options. So yeah, I just think it was a dark moment. And when you guys watch that, it blew me away. I couldn't believe that she actually did that. And the response from the chat when I was saying that, I mean, people seem to be pretty upset with Maggie right now. And I really am interested in how the fan base is going to respond to her just in general. Because, I mean, I don't know. She came back. You thought it was going to be all good. But she's bringing she's just doing bad shit right now. Like, she came back and now Negan has to worry or he's like worried for his life, right? And now she got Gage killed. Like, it's kind of crazy. Like, I mean, and I like it though. I like that they're doing this. Like, from a writing perspective, I actually like that they're making Maggie's character more complex and doing things like this. It's just, it's making me feel this way towards the character right now too. So Maggie, Yeah, I'm not too sure right now. I'm definitely for sure on Negan's side of everything because Maggie tells a really dark story in this episode, and I think she's worse than him right now. And I think she has went through some really bad shit. Negan has too with the loss of Lucille. And I think what this is cementing right now is that, Negan's a good guy. Look how bad Maggie is. Everyone hits their lows at some point in their life. Everyone does really bad shit in the apocalypse. And so, yeah, Maggie, oh, crazy shit right now. We do actually see Roy. I think Roy got bit. It seems like it doesn't matter anyway. Actually, he mentions he has kids. I didn't know that. But it doesn't matter because in the end, he gets shot by a Reaper. But we'll touch on that right away. They're stuck in a subway tunnel for, really the whole episode for the most part. A lot of it is Maggie's telling a story. They're, Negan and Maggie, you see some bonding stuff there. You do see some Daryl stuff. Daryl goes and looks for Dog. And then really at the end of the day, Daryl saves the day. And he takes out a bunch of walkers. Some really cool action sequences here. There's a lot, not action sequences, but action scenes here. There's a lot of action scenes here. Daryl, he probably does one of his best action scenes that he's done in a very long time. He takes out all of these walkers with his handgun, and he's just he's cutting through that like butter. He's taking them all out, and then he saves them. He also he puts a grenade in a zombie's mouth, blows up all of the walkers in that subway car, really saves everyone, and then they're all able to escape afterwards. Like Daryl, definitely he wasn't in the episode a lot. He kind of had his own thing where he found Roy, he found some other stuff there, like he found Dog and all that, and then he came back, but he definitely saved the day. It was definitely deserving, otherwise it would have kind of made no sense, right? You're kind of wondering, like, wait, where did Daryl go? Like, why the hell did he leave? And he came back, like, he did nothing in that subway tunnel, right? But he definitely did, he saved them. If it wasn't for Daryl, there was no way in hell they were getting out of that. Now, there's two things that I want to touch on, the Reapers and then the Commonwealth storyline. And the Commonwealth storyline I'll touch on last. Let's get into the Reaper stuff. So the scenes that we saw from the trailer with the Reapers arriving and walking towards them, we do actually see that play out now, finally. We do see that happen. It ends on a cliffhanger, and it seems like episode 3 is going to go on from there. It seems like early on in episode 3, we are going to have that action sequence. Roy actually dies here because the Reapers kill him, and Cole gets shot in the leg, which is insane. He has something in his leg. He's still fine right now, but Cole can die right away. So the Reapers definitely, they don't screw around, and that's kind of where it ends there. There's not a lot to say there, but definitely in terms of that scene there, man, they are skilled. They are highly trained assassins. They are definitely very terrifying. But I'll have more to say on this, obviously, when I talk about episode 3 in my episode 3 trailer breakdown. But let's talk about the Commonwealth. This story here basically wraps up all of the interrogation stuff. You have Yumiko. She questions the Commonwealth quite a bit and kind of stands up to them. Everyone, it seems like, stands up to them and just wants to know more about them. You mostly follow Eugene here because Eugene wants to know more about the Commonwealth, but he doesn't want to open his mouth. He's terrified. You're mostly following Eugene here because everyone else was taken away and Eugene is scared. And you really get this intense interrogation scene between Eugene and Mercer. I actually really liked this scene. I thought the scene was really well done because you had Mercer really showing off how tough of a leader he is. And he definitely doesn't want to fuck around. Like, he scared the shit out of Eugene. Eugene, he's kind of a softie, so like he was definitely more terrified than he needed to be. But he was scared that everyone else died, that Princess, Yumiko, and Eugene Ezekiel, that they all died. So, he had that fear there. But in the end, Eugene, he opened up about Stephanie, and he really opened up about everything, told her everything, and then he was cleared for processing. They brought him to this like train car thing where it was like this little lounge kind of thing. It looked really nice in there. And Yumiko, Ezekiel, and Princess were all happy. It was so weird. Eugene walked in there and he was just like terrified, but they were all happy. Like, they knew that the Commonwealth was a very safe place and that this was like actually very safe and very normal. They were super happy. So they know something about the Commonwealth that we don't, or I guess like us comic fans know already. But where it ends is that Mercer actually says to them, "Welcome to the Commonwealth." And then we have Stephanie show up. But I believe it's a fake Stephanie because it's not Margot Bingham. So yeah, that's where we ended off in this episode. The two big storylines were the Reaper's subway tunnel stuff and then the Commonwealth stuff. So where we ended off is there's a Reaper battle going on right now. And Eugene and Ezekiel, Princess, and Yumiko have now been accepted into the Commonwealth, and are now going to be able to actually go and visit the Commonwealth, and we're going to start to get that story. So I imagine that's going to happen in like episode 4 or 5, around there. We're not going to get into it right away. This fake Stephanie thing is definitely really fascinating. I can't wait to see where they go with that. But this was a great episode. I actually preferred this one over the first one, not by much though. They actually are pretty close together, I would say. The second one I just preferred because they wrapped up a lot of stuff. There was some really cool stuff here. But overall, I would say they are pretty close. I just kind of prefer the second one a little bit more. And if I was to give a rating, and I don't normally give ratings, I would say it's an 8 out of 10. And I would rate episode 1 also an 8 out of 10 kind of thing. But maybe the second one's like an 8 point whatever, 8.5 out of 10 kind of thing. It's a good episode. It's definitely a great episode. I really enjoyed it, and I'm so excited for episode 3. But anyways, I'm gonna leave it here. Here are my initial thoughts. Here's my review of the episode. Really solid episode. I love the fact that we're 2 episodes in already. I can't wait for episode 3. So make sure to be a subscriber if you want to get all of my Walking Dead content like this. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for my episode 3 trailer breakdown coming out very soon, and I'll see you guys in the next one.